Hey, good morning. This morning I want to talk to you about nappies, or you might call them diapers, and potties, and tiny babies pee and poop. How do you deal with all this stuff? We might not like to focus on changing the diapers and the poo, but we can't get away with it, right? We want a clean, happy baby. We have to deal with this stuff. So that's what we're going to talk about this morning. Yeah, and you might know me. I'm Roya. I've helped hundreds of families over the last nearly 8 years connect with their baby by focusing on communication. You can create a strong bond with your baby. You can enjoy the benefits of less crying, less frustration by doing that. You can raise a multilingual child who is close to all their family members around the world in your different countries and cultures. And your child can grow up to enjoy the international lifestyle that you love. So yeah, let's get into it. Pee and poop. So you bring your baby home, or even at the hospital it starts, right? You have to change your baby's nappies. I still remember, goodness, the first time I changed my son's nappy, my first baby, my son. It was the middle of the night in the hospital, and a nurse took him and said that she would change him. And I said, no, I want to do it. I want to come. So I followed her out of the little bedroom that we had. I don't even know why we had to leave there, but we went down the corridor. I'm in a t-shirt and those like post-birth nappy knickers things. She didn't give me time to put trousers on. And I go with her and then I'm like, I want to change my baby's nappy. And it's the first time I've ever done it. It's the middle of the night, it's dark, I'm tired, I've just given birth, and I'm struggling with this nappy because I'm determined to learn how to do it. And she's like, you've got it the wrong way around, it's upside down. So the first time I did it, I tried to put it on upside down. And then the next story I can tell you is when we got home the first night, again, middle of the night, I wanted to change his diaper, his nappy. And I did, and I was like, okay, I did this, and I dressed him up again, went to sleep, and then a couple of hours later he woke up and he was all wet. Poor little boy. Okay, so changed him again, changed his clothes into dry clothes, wiped him down, dry clothes. Same thing happened again. And it turned out, the next day we had a nurse that came to visit to check how we were doing, and I told her, why, the diapers, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And she's like, he's a boy. He needs to point down. Otherwise the pee just goes up and it comes out the diaper, out the nappy, all onto his clothes. And that's why he was waking up wet. How did you learn? How did it go the first few times? So this is not something that we practice before we give birth, but it probably should be something we try and practice before we give birth. So I'm happy to tell you that it got easier with my son. It did. And, we were focusing a lot on communication with him, with the baby sign language. I was very determined to make that work for our family. And his first sign was papa at 8 months, papa. But also, he signed for the toilet. Like, we were so surprised. That's one of the ones he picked up. And at that time, we used this sign for toilet. And he used to just sign it everywhere. He would sign it at the library, at the cafe, at friends' houses, restaurants, anywhere we went, he wanted to see the toilet, even at the supermarket. And I had to be like, there was a supermarket that didn't have a toilet. I was like, no toilet here. And the most amazing thing is that when he signed for the toilet, if it was possible, not at the supermarket, but if it was possible to respond to him, we would take him to the toilet, put him on, and he would pee. Okay, this is an 8-month baby, 8 months old, asking me by signing to be put on a potty or a toilet and pee. Now, my mind was blown. I was just like, what is going on? This is just amazing. We listened to our baby. We had taught him the sign, but we taught him loads of signs, tons of signs. We did not expect that one to be one that he focused on. And it was super, super cool. Now, unfortunately, we moved house not long after. He was about a year old, and he was almost out of diapers at that point. We moved house and we had some setbacks, and it was not really smooth sailing. But we got back on track and he was out of nappies before he was 2. So that was pretty cool. I was like, okay, that's good. Then we had our daughter, and while I was pregnant with our daughter, a friend of ours, a lovely mum, actually she was a mum that came to one of my baby sign language workshops in the Netherlands, in Delft. Hi Kate, it's you. And she learned baby sign language from me, and then she taught me about elimination communication. Have you heard of this? Oh my goodness, mind-blowing. Elimination communication is focusing on your baby in order to recognize when they need to pee and poo, or allow them to tell you when they need to pee or poo, so that you can give them an alternative to the diaper, to the nappy, as a toilet. Because, it makes sense. If we, when we're using the diaper, the nappy as a toilet for the first 2 years of their life, naturally it's going to be a bit difficult when you say to them, hey, now the nappy's not a toilet anymore, you need to use a toilet. That's kind of a bit of a shock for a toddler, a 2-year-old, a child that's just finding their power and autonomy and how to say no. So, it made a lot of sense to me to introduce already the idea of letting them have a potty time or toilet time, not training them, but just so that they know there are other, there's another place. That's actually the place where the pee and poo has to go, is in the toilet, not in the diaper or the nappy. So they're already aware of that from earlier on. And so Kate introduced me to Elimination Communication. She gave me Amber Hatch's book to borrow. It's called Nappy Free Baby. I can see it on my bookshelf over there. I should have brought it to show you. I'll stick a photo in when I edit, I think. And also Kate was a Montessori expert. So she taught me about Montessori toilet learning, which is very interesting. I mean, Maria Montessori, her main thing was follow the child. When the child is developmentally ready for certain things, follow them, follow their interests, follow what they can do. And it's not about when your child says, now I'm ready, I want to do it, but it's about when they're capable to do things, noticing if they're capable and they have the interest, and then taking advantage of that. It really works, and it worked so well with my daughter. So I remember when I was thinking about this a lot while I was pregnant, because Kate told me all about it and it had worked for her. Then I had the baby, and for the first couple of weeks I was like, yeah, it sounds fun, but come on. I was really skeptical. When my daughter was 3 weeks old, I finally decided I'm going to try, and I didn't even have a potty ready, I think. My son by then was in pants, so he was 2.5, so he was already done with the potty. He was on the big toilet by the time my daughter was born. So I don't know where the potty was, but we had one probably in the basement. I didn't have the potty, but I thought, I want to see if this will work. And so I held her over a tub, an ice cream tub. No, it wasn't an ice cream tub. It was an empty wet wipes, baby wipes, plastic tub. I held her over that in the special hold that there is. Again, I think I will put a picture here of the hold from Amber Hatch's book, Nappy Free Baby. And I held her over this tub and she peed. Like the first time we tried. Okay, once you catch a pee, your life has changed. You'll never go back. So interesting. And I'm like, wow, so I can help my daughter pee into a container, then I can just flush it. And we have a clean, dry nappy that I can put back on. So this was also really interesting for me because I hated buying a new pack. Every time I had to buy a new pack of nappies, diapers, I was cross. It would make me really annoyed because they're expensive and you need a lot of them. And they're full of chemicals. Like, who do you trust? Like, are they really safe for our children's delicate skin? And that would stress me out. And then landfill, incinerators, like even the nappies that were supposed to be biodegradable, you were told not to put them like in compost because there's human waste in there. So, you know, they were still going to landfill. So that used to make me really cross. It used to make me upset. And I was like, oh, there should be another way. And there is another way, right? So that's what I wanted to tell you about. Now, it worked so well with my daughter that, okay, I have to tell you a few things about her. So we would read her body language and her signals, and we tried to learn when she needed to pee or poo, so that at those moments we could hold her over the potty or the pot, the Tupperware tub or whatever you have. It could be the sink in the bathroom. Also, we used to use transition times, which is really useful if you're struggling to read your baby's body language. So transition times, you're almost guaranteed to catch a pee then. Those are just when your baby's woken up, when you're changing the nappy, put them over the potty, after eating, immediately after having their milk for a newborn, or after a meal for a bigger baby. And then just before you go out, just when you come home, before you sit at the table for the meal too. So all these moments where you're like changing from doing one thing to another thing, stick them on a potty. Just make it part of your routine. See what happens. And always with no pressure. This is not potty training. So you're just like, sit there. Are you going to pee? You're not going to pee? Okay, let's go. Next thing. Most of the time, you will catch a pee. You will. It's amazing. Pooing is a bit easier to tell because they have a poo face. Do you recognize your baby's poo face? We all know the poo face, right? So another thing you can do is introduce cues. So you can read your baby's body language cues, like their facial expression and their body, to see if they need to pee and poo. But then you can also give them cues. So with our daughter, every time she peed, we would make this noise. Pss, 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 pss. And every time she pooed, we would make this noise. Okay, I'm not kidding. It used to make me laugh. Okay, it's a bit fun. Come on, it's funny. And we found it funny until when she was 4 months old, she was sitting on my lap and she went, I was like, what? That's the poo noise. What? And we were somewhere where I couldn't take her to a potty. Like, we were not at home when it happened. So I was like, maybe I'm just imagining things. But I held her in the potty hold. There's a way of holding a small baby that's safe and comfortable for them, and actually stimulates the elimination, so that helps a lot. Held her in this position, and she pooed in her nappy, and I'm like, oh my, she just told me she needs to poo at 16 weeks old. This is a 4-month-old baby. I kid you not. Okay? After that day, we caught like 95% of her poos until she was done with diapers. So I basically never had to change a pooey diaper again. Yay! So cool. Which, newborn poo nappies, they're not that bad. But once you introduce solid food, they get... I don't want to drink my tea now talking about poop. Ew. Anyway, it just went so well with her that we were able to just stop putting her in nappies. At 18 months, she was dry in the day and the night. And we had her in little girl pants. It was so cute. So she had she didn't need her nappy diapers anymore. She was completely dry and reliable, and probably had 1 or 2 accidents after that, but nothing to make me think that I needed to put her back in diapers. So at 18 months old, a year and a half, she was done. Okay, so the thing is that, not many people do this, not many people know about this, I think. But the mums that I've spoken to who have done it have found it very successful and had their babies out of diapers much earlier than everybody else. And so why not try? Can you imagine a whole year of diapers you don't have to buy? Like, how much money is that? Like, even if you save 1 nappy a day because you've used a potty, just once a day, you avoid having a wet diaper that you have to throw away, but it's dry so you can put it back on, just 1 a day. So that's 30 in a month. So that's a pack. I don't know how much a pack is anymore because my daughter's 5 now and she's been out of them since a year and a half. But, you're talking like 20 francs. I'm in Switzerland. $20, I don't know, a month. $20 a month for a year. Okay, Come on, are you doing the math? And that's just one a day that is now dry and clean because you used a potty or a toilet. That's hundreds of diapers that don't have to go to landfill. Hundreds. And it's hundreds of poos that you don't have to scrape off your baby's skin, all smushed, you know, and that's nappy rash avoided. That's a clean and happy baby. So I get a little bit excited when I talk about this stuff. Okay, so that's my story when it comes to early pottying. Now you can have this too, and I want you to. And because of that, I'm organising a mama masterclass in early pottying, and it's next week. And there will be a replay, so you're in the right place. You can send me a message if you are too late to get to the live event. Then I can send you the replay. Just comment below a list of the things that you need to get started, which is not very many things. You just need a baby, a container. It can be an old ice cream tub, a wipes plastic tub. It can be a bowl. It can be a sink. It can be right over the toilet, the big toilet. Of course, it can be a potty. And there are wonderful top hat potties for newborns that are really nice, and they're designed specially for this kind of thing, early pottying. And you need probably a muslin, might be useful, some loo roll to, you know, wipe, a little wipe with the poo, but that's really quick and easy. You don't even need wet wipes anymore. Can you imagine? It's amazing. So yeah, I want to leave you with that, and I hope to see you at my masterclass, and I hope you're inspired to make your wallet happy, make the environment happy, but most of all, make yourself and your baby happy. Thank you for sharing a cup of tea with me today. Ciao.